What makes a man a warrior? Is it the sword in his hand, the battles he fights, or the victories he claims? Or is it something deeper? The wisdom he carries, the discipline he lives by, and the faith that fuels his every step. In Hollywood, few embody the warrior spirit quite like Denzel Washington. He is not just an actor. He is a force, a man whose stare pierces the screen, whose voice commands silence, and whose words carry timeless truth. For decades, Denzel has shown us that greatness is not measured only in awards or fame, but in character, in purpose, and in the ability to rise again and again when life tries to push you down. Today, we're going to talk about the warrior wisdom of Denzel Washington, his journey, his lessons, his achievements, and the code he lives by. 1. From rejection to resilience. Every warrior begins as an underdog. Denzel's early years were filled with rejection. Casting directors dismissed him. Hollywood wasn't ready. But rejection didn't break him. It built him. Instead of giving up, he returned to the stage. He trained harder, studied longer, and sharpened his craft in silence. Years later, the world witnessed his power and glory, Malcolm X and Training Day. These roles were legendary, but behind them was a man who had already fought 1,000 battles in the shadows. Warrior lesson. Rejection is not defeat, it is training. Every no sharpens your sword for the day you will rise. 2. Master of discipline. Discipline became Denzel's greatest weapon. For every role, he arrives prepared like a general before battle. For Training Day, he lived inside the mindset of corruption and power. For Malcolm X, he studied speeches, cadence, and presence until he didn't just play Malcolm. He became him. He doesn't leave greatness to chance. He prepares until truth takes over. And he says it clearly. Without commitment, you'll never start. Without consistency, you'll never finish. Warrior lesson. Discipline is freedom. Commitment and consistency are what separate warriors from wanderers. 3. Faith is his foundation. But discipline alone is not enough. A warrior must fight with purpose. For Denzel, that purpose has always been faith. He says it again and again in his speeches. Put God first. Everything else will fall into place. This is not a motto. It is his shield. When doubt, fame, and temptation came, his faith kept him grounded. Faith gave him clarity when the world shouted noise. Faith gave him strength when the battle felt impossible. Warrior lesson. True warriors don't fight for glory, they fight for purpose. Purpose rooted in something higher than themselves. 4. Using success to uplift others. A warrior is not measured only by the battles he wins, but by how many he helps rise. Denzel understands this. He doesn't just succeed, he serves. One powerful example. Chadwick Boseman, years before he was the Black Panther, needed funding to study in England. Quietly, Denzel Washington paid for his scholarship. Years later, Boseman publicly thanked him, revealing the truth. Without Denzel's support, his path might never have been possible. That is legacy. That is warrior spirit. Warrior lesson. Greatness is not what you take, it is what you give. 5. Courage to speak the truth. In an age of comfort and distraction, Denzel Washington has never feared speaking hard truths. He warns against the dangers of social media, the traps of fame, and the weakness of choosing ease over challenge. One of his sharpest truths: ease is a greater threat to progress than hardship. This is warrior wisdom. Comfort weakens you, struggle strengthens you, and Denzel chooses the warrior path, the harder path, because he knows that is where growth lives. Warrior lesson. Truth is the sharpest weapon. Speak it, live it, and defend it. Core attribute. Wisdom in action. So what defines Denzel Washington above all? It is wisdom in action, not wisdom as words, not wisdom as theory, but wisdom lived. His discipline is his armor, his faith is his shield, his truth is his weapon, his service is his legacy. That is the code of a warrior. 5 takeaways from the warrior wisdom of Denzel Washington. Now let's go deeper into the 5 takeaways and how you can live them every single day. 1. Put God first. Live with higher purpose. Denzel often says, put God first. Everything else will fall into place. Without higher purpose, life drifts. With it, life gains direction. Daily practice. Begin each morning with prayer, reflection, or meditation. Before big choices, pause and ask, does this serve my purpose or just my ego? Stop chasing applause. Start chasing meaning. Warrior reminder. A life built only on pleasure will collapse. A life built on purpose will endure. 2. Embrace rejection. Let it sharpen you. Rejection was Denzel's forge. Every no became fuel. Daily practice. Reframe rejection as feedback. Ask, what is this teaching me? Keep a record of rejections alongside what you learned from each one. Replace why me with what's next. Warrior reminder. Rejection is not the end. It is the whetstone that sharpens your sword. 3. Commit to discipline. Preparation brings freedom. Denzel doesn't wait for the perfect day to prepare. He shows up ready every time. Daily practice. Build a morning routine anchored in exercise, reflection, or learning. Break down goals into daily habits. Write a page, train an hour, study a lesson. Remove excuses. Warriors don't wait for the right mood. They prepare in all conditions. Warrior reminder. Discipline is the path, and freedom is its reward. 4. Lift others. True greatness is what you give. Denzel paid Chadwick Boseman's tuition quietly. He lit a torch that went on to light the world. Daily practice. Mentor someone younger or less experienced. Share the lessons you fought to earn. Look for one way each day to encourage someone. When you win, ask yourself, who else can rise with me? Warrior reminder. A warrior's legacy is not in his victories, but in the victories he creates for others. 5. Speak truth fearlessly. Let honesty be your sword. Denzel says it boldly, ease is a greater threat to progress than hardship. Daily practice. Be radically honest with yourself. Write down your weaknesses and face them. Speak truth with respect, even when it makes others uncomfortable. Cut out the lies of ease. Choose what is hard but necessary instead of what is easy and empty. Warrior reminder. Comfort makes you soft. Truth makes you strong. Denzel Washington is not just a Hollywood star. He is a warrior of wisdom. His story is a reminder that greatness is not found in ease, in fame, or in comfort. Greatness is found in faith, in discipline, in truth, and in the service of others. So ask yourself, where in your life do you need to put purpose above pleasure? Where do you need to let rejection sharpen you instead of defeat you? Where do you need to commit to discipline, lift others, and speak truth without fear? Because as Denzel himself reminds us, ease is a greater threat to progress than hardship. Step into the hardship, embrace the discipline, live with faith, and you too will walk the warrior's path. Don't forget to share, like, and subscribe.